think Israel is on the side of morality, not those criminals from Hamas. If the US made investments based on morality and right and wrong, the US would be bankrupt because the US has made the most number of investments in China. It's just a fashion. It is the watermelon coalition, ladies and gentlemen, right? Radical Islamists and left, they've got together, they're setting the campuses on fire. Jai Hind friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Now today I'm going to speak about what is happening in US universities. I'll name some universities, I'll give you some figures, and then we'll discuss why this is happening. And also there is a geographical divide. Where are the protests happening and where are the protests not happening? Let's start off. Now in the University of Southern California, the protesters were threatened with arrests and they abandoned camp. So they left voluntarily. Police said, get out, we are giving you a certain time frame, and if you don't get lost, we will arrest you. So they left in peace and there were no arrests. And Los Angeles Police Department officers arrived at University of Southern California to assist campus safety officers, and USC President Carol Folt stated the need to draw a line due to the protests' direction. So in some places the protests were getting violent and they said, listen, yeah, we'll come and arrest you. And you know, all these students, they're just spoiling their careers because none of them, most of them are getting involved because of peer pressure, right? This is like fashionable. This is nothing but fashion. And I don't have any respect for protesting students. Your job is to study, get more good marks. You want to do a startup, or you want to paint, you want to write a book, you want to sing a song, you want to do a job, that's your headache. But complete your education. That is what your parents are paying for. That is why you have taken loans. Not to get involved in these stupid protests. And I will tell you why they are stupid and why they are happening in the US. You must understand the dynamics of all this. You know, simply protesting. And I was like this once when I was in college. And I identified with the left at that point in time. I grew up later because I grew up suddenly. I was at that point in time able to quote Karl Marx. There was a time when I was able to quote Karl Marx in college. I'd read a couple of books. I think Communist Manifesto, who was it written by? I don't remember. Long back. I'm talking about 1991, 92. Right? And I've gone for meetings with students like-minded and who used to speak about, communism and socialism, etc. Outside college also. But then in 1993, I joined the Indian Army. And within 48 hours, the army was able to get rid of the communist bug. And I became a normal human being. Now let me tell you about this. So, there were some students who waved small Palestinian and Israeli flags. Student speaker, this is Northeastern University. Rebecca Bemidel urged peace in Gaza. Student speaker Rebecca. Rebecca, do you even know where Gaza is? What's wrong with Rebecca? And they were outnumbered by those waving Indian and US flags. So till now, over 50 campuses, since April 18th, more than 2,500 students have been arrested. And at the University of Virginia, 25 arrests were made for trespassing after clashes with protesters. At the Art Institute of Chicago, police arrested 68 pro-Palestinian demonstrators for criminal trespass. And then they talk about escalating tensions and tent encampments, advocating for disinvestment from Israel or companies supporting. Investment is not made. You see, these students are stupid. I don't know how they got admission in such universities. Investment is not made on moral grounds, even though the grounds that you're saying they're not moral at all. I think Israel is on the side of morality, not those criminals from Hamas, right? But even if you were to look at morality, because that is clearly what you're stating, if the US made investments based on morality and right and wrong, the US would be bankrupt because the US has made the most number of investments in China. And China is the worst. China is the worst, human rights violator in the world. 1.5 million Muslims in jail for the crime of being Muslims. I'm talking about the Uyghurs there. Nobody says anything. And you students, you want your nice Nikes, huh? You know where the Nikes come from. You know who makes those Nikes. you should try and figure all these things out sometimes. It's just a fashion. It is the watermelon coalition, ladies and gentlemen, right? Radical Islamists and left, they've got together, they're setting the campuses on fire, and today, but it seems to be petering down now. Now, I have a very interesting take on this, and I'd like you to listen very carefully. Listen to this. The protests are happening mostly in the United States of America, which is a democracy. It's a democracy. It guarantees free speech. They have a vibrant constitution, and with all its shortcomings, America is still the most vibrant democracy of all. These protests are taking place in some European countries, but mostly in the US. Now, the people who are being killed in Gaza are 99%. In Gaza, I'm talking about, not about Israel, I'm talking about Gaza. They're 99.9% Muslims. And the OIC, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, a 57-nation coalition, or a grouping if you can call it, was formed to raise the voice for Muslims everywhere. That was the whole idea of the OIC, right? Do you hear of such protests in any Muslim country? I would like to understand from you. Because it impacts Muslims the most, right? That is what people are saying. Stop killing Palestinians. Palestinians are mostly Muslims. An overwhelming majority of Palestinians are Muslims, though there are some Christians also, but an overwhelming majority are Muslims. So which, let's take our neighbor Pakistan. How many universities have been shut down because they are bleeding for, so they'll speak about Palestine a lot. In Muslim countries, they'll speak about Palestine. They will say that, the Palestinians are being wronged and Gaza is this thing and from the river to the sea. But they're not shutting down business. Support is one thing and business is the other. So there are no colleges shut down in Pakistan. There are no colleges shut down in Bangladesh. There are no colleges shut down in Maldives. These are three of India's neighbors and near neighbors. Maldives is a near neighbor, and Bangladesh and Pakistan are immediate neighbors. No colleges and universities have been shut down. Please name whether colleges that have been shut down in Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, or Malaysia, or Indonesia, or any other Muslim country. There are 57 of them. Please tell me if anyone has seen an America-like situation where people are out. Why? Or even Turkey for that matter. Turkey is a Muslim country. Do you know why? Because none of these countries are democracies. And some of them I'm very fond of. Like I'm very fond of Saudi Arabia. I'm very fond of the UAE. I love the UAE. I love Saudi Arabia. Though I wish I can go to Saudi Arabia, and I will one day. I have not yet been there. I've been to the UAE, but I have not been to Saudi Arabia. These are 2-3 Muslim countries that I really admire. I think they're absolutely top class. But the rest of them, I feel very sad because, you see, what you have done is, you have said we support Palestine and then you have not supported them. And all these students who are protesting there, right? All these students, all of these 2,500 students who have been arrested, they have been given an invitation by one Houthi, it's called Sana University, and the Houthis run it, in Yemen, I think someplace. I don't know where they run it. They have this university. And they have actually invited all these guys, please come. You've been thrown out from your colleges, please come. I want you to go and study there. It'd be such a fantastic thing to have all these young American kids, left-leaning, go to Yemen or Syria or some other place to study. It'll, and don't go for years and years. No, don't. Just go there for a month or two. I want you to get an understanding of what these areas are like, right? And the mindset of the people that you're so vocal about. And when you chant from the river to the sea, live for 2-3 weeks under the Houthis, just 2-3 weeks, and I swear, you will be waving the Israeli flag. You guys don't know what you have done and how you have been played. So none of the Muslim countries are protesting. No Muslim countries allowing protest of any kind whatsoever. Although all of them support Palestine in one way or the other. If not directly, then indirectly. But nobody's allowing. Is Erdogan allowing protests? Are universities in Turkey shut down? Are universities in Pakistan or Malaysia or Indonesia shut down? No, nobody. It's only the Americans who are going crazy. Shut everything down and picketing and camps and student leaders calling for an end to violence in Gaza. Are you stupid? You're a student. You can't afford your fees. You're neck deep in loans. You're probably taking money from your parents or relatives or taken money from banks. How can you demand anything? Just shut up. Just study. You see, many of these colleges will give you an enhanced sense of your own importance. A student as part of society is important because he's learning, he's the future, but he's not the present or she's not the present. The student is not the present, the student is the future. That is why students are valuable. Please don't think that just because you are going to be valuable in the future, right? You should try and vest your shares now. You can't do that. You can't do that. And a lot of people coming up and protesting against Indians. I saw 2-3 videos, right? And these guys were saying that they were saying that India is supporting Israel and everything and protesting. Don't protest against Indians in the US. I'm telling this to all these universities, campuses, and all that. Yeah. Please don't criticize Indians because if you abuse Indians and if you abuse Indian students, etc., you want to be on the right side of your boss because that guy, that Indian, will become the CEO of a company. And you'll be working for him or her. That Indian kid, girl or boy, doesn't matter. He's going to be the head of Google one day. He's going to be the head of Apple or Microsoft or X or whatever Twitter is called now. He's going to be heading Silicon Valley, heading your corporates. He or she is going to be heading Pepsi and Coke and American Express and MasterCard. So please don't indulge in or please don't perpetrate violence against Indians or abuse them because you would be doing it against your future boss. How smart is that, yeah? Think about it. Give peace a chance and forget about this Gaza nonsense. It's not your concern. Focus on your studies, get good marks. Be good students. Thank you very much for watching this video, ladies and gentlemen. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to press the bell icon. Jai Hind. Vande Mataram. Bharat Mata ki Jai.